Welcome to Trading Lounge and the European indices for Tuesday the 29th of June, and starting with the DAX on the weekly chart here, we can clearly see that the trend to the upside is still in play, because we just only have wave 1 here with wave 2 here, and we're still moving up to wave 3. So within wave 3 here, we're looking for 5 waves in terms of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. And yeah, I mean, originally we could see from here, from wave 2 here, we could see we have 1 and 2 waves here and 3 waves here and 4 waves here and 5 waves here. So we were looking for a top in play here, but the S&P was moving higher and so on. So we thought, well, maybe this fifth wave here can extend higher, and so we looked at that being wave 1 and 2 and 3, moving a little bit higher in that regard. So yeah, we're sort of left with this situation. Let's just go in and have a closer look here. So yeah, originally we're looking at it like this here. So from wave 2 here, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 already done and dusted here, and then rolling over. But yeah, the S&P was moving, the Nasdaq and the S&P were moving higher. The DAX has sort of found it difficult to move up off its lows there, probably being held down by the finance sector, I'd say. And yeah, so we need to sort of understand this, because we could pull back to this wave 4 here of 1 lesser to this one here of 1 lesser degree before moving, before heading higher again as well. So we need to understand the details within in here first. So let's just continue to move in. So I think it might have been on, no, that was the old count that we had, but that's okay. I'm just looking here on this 2-day count. Yeah, so what we've been looking at is we've got wave 1 and 2 here, and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, and then a nice third wave up here and the fourth wave. So instead of having this wave, blue wave 5 and 3 here sitting on top here, we figured, well, the US markets are pushing up. Perhaps we need to look at this all as wave 1 here and 2 here, and then 3, 4, 5 coming up into the next level up here, the 1650. So that's kind of where we've been at with it. But the problem is that this little pattern within here hasn't really been getting off the ground and moving higher. It's starting to sort of lag a little bit, and it's sort of like, well, okay, we may be in wave 4 after all, you know. So that's kind of what we need to talk about today somewhat. So going over to here, these were the options that we had. So from, if I count this as a triangle pattern across here, we've got wave 4 here, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1 and 2 in here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third wave in here, and then we've got the fourth and the fifth wave here, and the fifth wave's a bit shorter than the third wave. So it's all okay, it all sort of fits okay a little bit. This wave 4 here overlaps wave 1 here. There'd be other ways you could count this up too, as ABCs and so on, but I like to keep things as simple as they can. So I've always said we've either got a top in play here, well, actually the next one across rather than that spike, that's this second one here, or we look at all of this move up here as wave 1 has pulled back to the 61.8% retracement level, and then we look at this as moving up here as wave 1 and back for wave 2, and this looks like it's in 5 waves as well. So, you know, we could look at that in terms of, I'm just shooting the breeze here for a second, so don't get sold on anything. So wave 2 here, and then going up for wave 3 here, so to speak. So that would all be good at that point. But we wouldn't want to see this market move down and take this low out, because if it takes that low out there, then that would confirm that we would be in wave 4 at that point in time. Okay, so that low's the critical low there. I mean, one of the other reasons we went with wave 1 here is because we could see that this move here was an A and a B and a C wave here for wave 2 here. And there's a case for putting this up there as wave 1 and 2, and so we're still in that bullish mode. But when I looked at the Stoxx 50, if I could just bring that across for a second, I could still have the triangle pattern here too. I've got wave 4 here as an A and a B and a C here, but I could have an A, B, C, D and E wave here and put this blue wave 4 here, and then that would leave us with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up here having a top in place. So that would be the 5th wave sitting over here. And the reason I've sort of always liked that is because the move down through here was in 5 waves. So in that case, we could just look at, in this one here, this one seems to be more bearish as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. So in a nutshell, this would make this here an A. I could probably lift it up 1 degree as well, but we're just really doing the counting here, so it's not a big deal. As an ABC here for the B wave, and then looking to come down further. So we can go long above the top here, as we've talked about before. We could bring it down to here, or now we could bring it down to this point here. But if this low here is breached, then would be in this C wave down here, either this wave 4 or another, or larger wave 4. Well, it would be pulling back down, it would pull back down over here somewhere for this. So this is interesting only in the fact that the Stoxx 50 is interesting because it's got 5 waves down from the top. And then we can look at this as an A and a B and a C wave here and finished here. But this would only be confirmed if this B wave gets taken out. So look for that. If I'm wrong and this top here gets taken out, well, then you can go long from that point. I've got to kind of boil it down to being that sort of simple, and that would be the same here as well with this. So of course we can go long above the top here. Do you want to go short down through here? I probably wouldn't suggest it because first of all, you're going to get, well, you could do if you're intraday trading, but expect a bounce. It's not going to be a straight move down through here. There's going to be a strong bounce off 3 here to start with. So if it does move through, there'll be a strong bounce there. And then all of these here, 3, 2, 1, will all be very choppy as well. So just be mindful about that coming into play. But yeah, so that's how it all sort of boils down to this here. So we just need to be a little bit patient and see how this plays out at this point. And then if it's a wave 4 here, then of course we'll need to look at this as some sort of A wave here, some sort of B wave up here, and the C wave for wave 4. It may get a bit more complicated than that too, but we'd be looking at something like that. So yeah, we still see the US markets pushing higher, and they have been moving quite nicely, really. So when I bring, this is just the S&P 500 over here, we've had its ABC here and we've taken out the top here, so it's been traveling quite nicely along with the NASDAQ. So, but this one here, just couldn't get up there. And really we're just trying to find the support on the 15,500. Well, the 500 is the important issue here. So we'll just have to wait and see which way the wind blows on this. There's a valid case for both sides. We can have a look at the FTSE as well. Whoopsie daisy. Sorry about that. So this is the same with the FTSE as well. We've been looking for, I can count this as in different ways here. There's a few ways to do this, but, it does look quite impulsive down off this top here, and this one's struggling as well here. So do we bring this one over here, and we look at it like this here? This is just the daily chart for the FTSE. So it'd come back down to this wave 4. So another move back below 7,000 in that regard. On the 1 hour chart here for the FTSE, we were also looking at, this being back for wave 2 here, but more importantly, we had this impulse wave of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, which is pretty clear, and we could look at that as wave 1, and then we were looking for this to be wave 1 up here and back for wave 2 in this space here, but it's also pulled down too far as well. So pulling down past this low here, then that would turn that into a bear, and it looks like it wants to come down and touch on that, doesn't it? So it's looking at this being a bearish pattern in that regard. So it'll be looking at it more so like this, because this here would become an A and a B and a C wave here for this now. Taking that low out here, which we can call the B wave, and then the C wave here for this. So it's looking very corrective at that point. So if we go to a larger time frame at 4 hours, just to get a bit more perspective in this. So once again, we were looking for it to be wave 4 with wave 1 here and 2 here, and moving up for wave 3. It's possible, but you know, now I think that we need to look at the possibility of this wave 5 being in play here, with wave 3 here, and this becomes the A wave here, the B wave here. We'll just get this into play here. I don't know, it's not confirmed yet, but this is what it would be looking like, and would have 5 waves down at this point. The other point that I could have made here is I've miscalculated this here and counted this wrong, and we do have 5 waves to that point. But once again, it's just nice to know where the 50-60% retracement level is, so we can expect some support there. So we're going to get support off this old low here for sure. Then that brings us down to this point, so it's still pretty low, isn't it, at that point? So we can't do anything at that point, so we just have to really stay a little bit neutral to short in this. If this was going to move down, then this length here would have some sort of equality to this one here, which would then in turn bring us down to this wave 4 of 1 lesser degree. So we're kind of on that pathway, so we could be in here for that. I just can't confirm that just yet. So I'll need to see how this box plays out. But there's no long trades here unless, you know, unless we take that top out is one of them. If we get a second high here, because there will be some sort of, you know, move down here, there'll be some sort of bounce off the old lows, checking it back and then moving down further at that point. So then we'll be able to, you know, use that second high at that particular point in time. So yeah, look, it is looking quite bearish at this point, especially taking this low out here. That's really a catalyst here, but we'll see a bounce off that point there, because we can also see indicators coming down to that point there as well. So if you're looking to short, don't get trapped on that particular side just yet. You'd need to short the retest at 7.1 there somewhere. So yeah, look, it's a little bit unfortunate. We've got the US markets heading in one direction up, and we've got the well, not only the European markets, Australia is the same as well. I mean, of course, Australia is a colony of the UK, so we've got the same tax, accounting, banking, you know, and law, all those sorts of things. So it makes the trade quite strong. And so there is a relationship between the FTSE and the ASX 200. I know that the FTSE is just sort of 10 times bigger, that's all. Yeah, there's a strong relationship between Australia and the UK and the European markets. Okay, I'll leave it at that. So unfortunately, just to recap, we're not going into a bullish mode like I thought that we may have been, and taking out these lows here really put pressure on the downside at that point. And if we are looking to the downside, then we have to look down at wave 4 here. And we would have to look at this as the A wave, the B wave now, and the C wave. And there'll be 5 waves in the C wave. It'll be roughly the same length as wave 1 here, as wave A here. And it should just really take out that low down here. So we could probably expect some support at 6.9. We can check on the 38.2% retracement level a little bit later. But the wave 4, 1 lesser degree over here would play that part there as well. Yeah, just one other count, just counting this here. If we do use this low here, this would have to be 1 and 2 here, then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 in here, and then going up for 5 for the third wave and the fourth wave. And the reason for that, it just leaves a nice 5-wave structure here for the last leg here as well. So that's about the best fit that I'm sort of concluding at this particular point in time. Alrighty, thanks for tuning in. Cheers.